Hey, what's going on, Los Angeles? Welcome to the Rams Skinny here on the LAFB network. We are Los Angeles Sports. Just today's Skinny, the LA venues for the 2028 Summer Olympics announced. SoFi Stadium, your home of the Los Angeles Rams, hosting the opening ceremonies as we expected, but also swimming. I mean, how cool is that going to be? Putting an Olympic-sized pool in SoFi under the Oculus. So first and foremost, how are you, my friend? And secondly, it's pretty badass, huh?
That's pretty crazy. Yeah, that's intense. I don't. I'm. It's like when I immediately thought of those NHL games that they play outside in like baseball stadiums or football stadiums or whatever. How do you just put a pool in a? It's wild.
Yeah. Well, I think what's kind of crazier to think about is if they're hosting the opening ceremonies, obviously the pool will not be there. And then, if I'm not mistaken, swimming is typically like one of the first events. So they'll basically have to turn that thing around 24 hours, unless they're going to move the schedule and do track and field because they always seem to do like swimming and gymnastics is like the first week, and then like track and field is like the second week, if I'm not mistaken. So, yeah, I'm curious if they'll move that and do swimming last, or they're going to have to like turn that thing around in 12 hours to start hosting the swim meets.
Yeah, and we were kind of talking about it before the show, but you think about all these other cities that host the Olympics are trying to construct all of these things, but right here in LA, within the county, not the city, the county of LA, you've got so many great venues, new ones, old ones, Coliseum. You pointed out 3-time Olympic venue, first and only in the whole world. It's incredible. You got SoFi, you got the Rose Bowl. Probably some soccer going to happen there, maybe. I don't know.
Yep, soccer's at the Rose Bowl. Good guess.
Yeah.
Or you read my article that I just put out, one or the other.
No, it's just a guess. Well, I'm thinking of the Ladies World Cup, iconic venue there. So another reason just to love this place.
Yeah, like literally, I don't think outside of updating, which has been needed for a long time, updating the airport, LAX, like I don't think we're building a single new structure for the Olympics. I don't think not even like a hotel or anything. I think infrastructure is already here. They're just updating the airport, which has been desperately needed for decades anyway. So it's about time they do it. But how crazy! I mean, every Olympic city, and just so everyone knows, we're doing a Rams mock draft today. So, but the Olympics are a big deal here in our city. We got to talk a little bit about it. But every city has even Beijing, which they probably didn't have to. Beijing is like a world-class city in China. But remember when they hosted, they built like every venue brand new, the bird's nest, the big cube. And obviously part of that was to show off their architecture. LA, we're not building not even like a hotel. Like everything's here already.
Yeah. Oh, and updating public transportation.
Which we need to anyway. So it's kind of forcing LA to do some updates that we've needed.
Yeah.
A lot of cool stuff. I have an article up if everyone wants to see. We are going to do some Olympic coverage, which I'm excited about as we expand our LA breadth here. But you got track and field at the College, soccer at the Rose Bowl, swimming at SoFi, basketball will be at the new Intuit Dome, gymnastics will be at the Crypto.com Arena. What else did I remember just seeing? At BMO Stadium, where LAFC plays, is going to be lacrosse, and the inaugural flag football will be at BMO. Dignity Health Sports Park is hosting I think a bunch of things. They're hosting they're hosting like 4 different things, rugby one of them. But then lastly, I thought it was kind of cool, Long Beach, where I moved to and lived for a decade before up here to Pasadena. Long Beach is hosting like a ton of things. I mean, sailing at Belmont Shore. They're doing crew, like rowing on the marina right there. They're doing open swim and a bunch of other stuff at the other ocean front. They're hosting beach volleyball at the Alamitos Beach. Bunches in the arena with the big cool big blue whale on the side of the arena. They're hosting handball. So I'm like, all right, Long Beach is like a hub city for all kind of the secondary sports.
Represented. I love it.
LBC, baby.
Anything in the pyramid?
Nothing in the pyramid. I think it's just too small.
Sure.
It's only like 6,000 seats. I love the pyramid, the mid though, as I call it, the mid. But anyway, so Olympics coming here soon. What are we, 2-3 years away this summer? So it'll be fine. Crazy. It's still 3 years away, but Should be a good time. But all right, Rams, we are about a week away. What is today? Tuesday? A week and 2 days from your Los Angeles Rams being on the clock. As of now, they still hold the 26th pick. We'll see if that changes. But we're going to do, Skinny, we haven't done a mock draft yet. So we'll do a live mock draft on air. Are you excited?
Kinda. I mean, four of their picks are all in the 6th round.
Yeah.
It's gonna get a little hairy, but down there. But it's been fun. It's been a little refreshing to be able to cover the first round. My first few years covering the Rams, it was like I'm digging through 4th round cornerbacks and defensive linemen trying to figure out what they can do there. But this is a whole different animal.
All right, Skinny. So let's get into it. Share the old screen here. You see my beautiful screen?
I got you.
Let's start this draft. Let's see. So we'll do this. We didn't really preface, but we'll do no trades for this one, and then maybe next week when we do kind of the final draft preparation, maybe we'll do one with trades. But for this one, no trades. So Rams sitting at 26. And while I'm kind of looking here, are you still in the path of like taking? I mean, what position do you prefer? I know we've gone back and forth over the last few weeks, but what position are you preferring them go with their first round pick?
Yeah, without trades, I'm thinking cornerback, quarterback, and tight end. Maybe wide receiver. What about you?
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking here. I don't think Loveland's gone. Yeah, Loveland. So I'm going tight end or corner or quarter or linebacker if like Jahad Campbell fell, but that's very unlikely.
I went to San Francisco.
Yeah, look at that. So I'll just do this really fast. Ward 1, Sanders 2, Abdul Carter 3, Mason Graham 4, Will Campbell 5. Raiders go Jahdae Barron, corner at 6.
Wow, that's
high.
really
That
high.
seems high, huh?
Very high.
Travis Hunter falls all the way to 7. Interesting. I don't know if that's going to be the case.
Come on, PFF.
Yeah, this PFF one's going interesting. Membao, the tackle out of Missouri, going 8. Genty falling 9. Tataroa McMillan, the arguably top receiver, at 10. There's Jahad Campbell at 11 to the Niners. Tyler Warren, the first tight end, goes at 12. Will Johnson, who, if he falls to the Rams, would be a really interesting pick there, but he goes 13. Mikael Williams, 14. Mike Green, 15. Edge, Shamar Stewart, 16. The other linebacker, top one, Jalen Walker, goes 17 to the Bengals. Kenneth Grant, I won't do this every round, but just for this first round. Kenneth Grant goes 18. Another receiver, Matthew Golden, goes 19. Donovan, I'm not going to try the last name. I haven't studied that enough. So Edge, 20 to the Broncos. Kelvin Banks, another tackle to the Steelers. Walter Nolan, arguably the top defensive interior lineman, goes 22 to the Chargers across town. Josh Simmons, who a lot of people before the Rams re-signed Alaric Jackson had mocked to the Rams, goes 23 to the Packers. Another receiver, Egbuka out of Ohio State, goes 24 to the Vikings. And then guard Tyler Booker goes right before the Rams to the Texans. And we are on the clock. What position would you like to look at? Or do you want me just to scroll all the top available?
I'm happy with Colston Loveland here. I mean, I think
I was going to say,
make a case for Luther Burden.
Yeah. Okay. Make the case for Luther Burden. Because I'll be honest, I'm very anti-receiver in even until the 6th round for the Rams. I think I said it last episode. But you make the case for Luther Burden III.
He's an interesting candidate specifically for this offense. Does he offer that kind of speed that they're looking for? No, but they got Tutu Atwell on a 1-year deal. But in terms of being able to hit, the quick hitters, the crossers, full route tree, I think a yak guy. So definitely in that vein of what they like to see. But I mean, for me, Colston Loveland, it's a position of need. He's a great prospect. A little bit of injury concern there. Didn't do anything at the combine. But great production in college when he was healthy. So, I mean, it's a tough sell for Luther Burden at this point.
Yeah, for me, and I won't spend too much time because went into depth last episode, but for me, I just don't see the purpose of the Rams taking a receiver high based on how they construct their offense and based on how Matthew Stafford kind of keys in on certain weapons. So I've seen some people say like, "Oh, give Matthew Stafford another weapon, like that'd be helpful." But I mean, he won't throw it to him most likely. So it's nothing against. I like Luther Burden a lot as a prospect, but I think with the likes of Puka Nacua, you just paid Tutu Atwell $10 million. We saw Jordan Whittington kind of have, I don't know about breakout, might be a little strong, but definitely ability to play. We saw last year, and so adding another receiver, like there might be. Will he get looks? I mean, will he get targets? So I would rather use a first round pick who would. And the Rams clearly need, in my opinion, a dynamic franchise tight end. Love Tyler Higbee, but he's had struggled staying on the field. Obviously, the last one not being his fault with that kind of low cheap shot in the playoff game that kept him out almost the entire year. But we saw when he was available, there was another dimension to the offense that he added. And so if we knew Higbee at his age was going to be available for all 17 games and at his peak, then, you would say it's not a need, but we just haven't seen that. And so someone like a Colson Loveland, to me, is a home run pick. Like if he's available, I'm not even thinking twice. That's the pick. And we know also, last thing I'll say, we said this before too, but we know McVay and Snead were enamored by Brock Bowers last year. And it was fact that they tried to trade up into the top 10 to take Bowers. Obviously, it worked out with who they got in Jared Verse, but we also know Bowers, how good he is. And, he's going to be an all pro tight end. So if someone like a Loveland falls to 26, I think it's a no brainer to me.
Yeah. Two interesting names still on the board here, Omarion Hampton and Gray Zabel.
Yeah.
I don't think the Rams go either running back or offensive line in the first round. That said, they love to switch that up.
I mean, I'll be honest, like I would not, I'm not saying I want it, but I would not be shocked if they shocked the world and went like running back.
I'd be shocked.
I would be shocked. Well, yeah, I don't know. I'll just leave it as that's kind of what they do. But we're going Loveland, right?
Yep.
All right. So now no second round pick. So we have to wait all the way till pick 90 in the third round. Oh, I like Femi here. What position would you like to see?
I think at this point you got to check out who's available at cornerback.
Corner, CB.
Corner, yeah.
Let's see here. We're staying away from quarterbacks right now. Yeah. Let's just add them in this and see who's available still. Okay. All right.
Well, okay.
All right.
So in terms of the cornerbacks that are available, I didn't like any. I like that Kansas guy Kobe Bryant, but I think that would be a big reach here in the third round.
Yeah. Is this what is this, back-to-back drafts? There's a Kobe Bryant, or was that one 2 drafts ago?
It was a couple of drafts ago. The guy that went to Seattle.
Yeah.
No, I think it was a couple years ago, but yeah, I think Jalen Milroe here on the board gets a high ADP grade from PFF.
Yeah.
Developmental guy for sure. Great intangibles as well. Intangibles, I think is the right word for that. Captain, good person, leader, all of those things. And Sean McVay has always wanted a mobile quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
Can I talk you into Jalen Milroe out of Alabama?
You can, and I agree. I think if with how the board is, and Rams fans comment, I mean, leave us comments. I'm sure none of you will like this, but with how the board is, I think the quarterback QB is the pick here. I mean, you didn't go in the first round, which I think is good. They got great value with Loveland. You don't have a second round pick. Now, obviously, we think they will get somehow into the second round. Seeing these corners, and you have pick 101 and 127. I like Mello Dotson a lot too. I think potentially you could wait. Now, if they love him, you don't take that risk, but I think you could wait and get him with the next pick, potentially. My question for you, because for some reason, Skinny, I don't know why, I'm starting to fall a little bit more in love with Will Howard. And maybe it's just because he won the Natty with Ohio State, but something about what he did at Kansas State. Kansas State, his last year was a top 25 team. He's got mobility, way more than people give him credit for. I think he rushed for like I don't have it in front of me, but multiple 500-yard seasons rushing.
Dude's a truck.
Dude's a
6'4",
truck,
236.
100%. And last year, Ohio State, right, was kind of left for dead, and he kind of put that team on his back. They obviously had a lot of great pieces as well, but really led that team in his first season in Columbus all the way to the Natty. And obviously we've talked about how that doesn't mean everything. You got to look at all the things because I mean they drafted a guy that won the Natty twice with Stetson Bennett, but Will Howard certainly has a bigger frame, bigger size, bigger mobility, and I think he's a really good leader. So there's the Jalen Milroe that I think probably has a higher ceiling, just that more athletic specimen. But Will Howard has a little bit more collegiate productivity and has proven a little more. So I'm kind of back and forth on both, but I'm going to let you make the pick here. I think we're going quarterback, but I'll let you take one of those two.
Okay. I mean, I'm just going to lean towards Milroe, just because it seems like there's a higher upside. I think they both actually have the same kind of downsides, in terms of accuracy, in terms of mechanics, in terms of, are they willing and able to hang in the pocket? But I think this is a Sean McVay dream pick. Get him in the building, see what we can do with him. Both are going to require patience. Both are going to have to sit behind Stafford. So that's where I'm going to lean.
All right, let's do it. Milroe, a year younger. So you get that extra year, I guess. All right, let's do it. Jalen Milroe. How you feeling, Rams fans? How you like it? Do you like the pick? Do you not like the pick? Quarterback in the third round. So let's see who went after we went. So I think the corners that we liked are available if you want to go corner here. There's something like the Rams don't have a need for edge, but certainly could use more depth. I think we talked about it a few episodes ago, how, you lose certain players in free agency. And, after Byron Young and Jared Verse, I mean, there's a clear drop off. So there is some temptation here. If Femi falls this fall, Deja out of UCLA, freak athlete, great size, moved from inside linebacker to edge last season and was a force for UCLA, not to the level of Latu, but certainly kind of filled that void to the best of his ability. I mean, there's temptation there to get a guy that, you need another edge player at some point. Your thoughts on that, or do you like corner here?
It's a tough one. I mean, it's certainly not a need. And we haven't taken a cornerback at all.
Correct.
Yeah, I mean, I'm leaning best player available at this point.
Yeah, especially if we like the Kansas kids. I mean, again, this is risky, but they might be here in 26 more picks still.
Yeah, I think they might. Let me look at some measurables on our guy.
Femi or a different one?
Femi, yeah.
6'3", 250. They don't know how old he is, apparently.
Here's an interesting. He's got a 76 percentile wingspan and a 45% arm length. Isn't that strange?
That is
high up there on the vertical jump. Didn't run the 40. So he's got some explosion. 72 percentile broad jump. So he's got some. He's got some explosivity.
To me, this is like a prototypical Rams pick. A guy that moved positions in college, so super raw, bit of a project, but certainly extremely athletic, quick off the edge. I mean, it feels like Byron Young to an extent. When they took Byron Young out of Tennessee, it was a guy, remember, that was raw but had that athletic ability, and look what he's turned into. So this kind of feels like that pick.
Yeah, I think I'm going to move away from it though, because is it too similar? So if he offered something that was different than what Byron Young was bringing, I would say that's intriguing. So it can be rotational. He can be used as in certain packages. But if he's bringing the exact same thing, I mean, that's a tougher sell for me.
The other side of that argument is when you look at what they did and have said, like for instance, last year and just taking Blake Corum. Now, obviously, different side of the ball, but they wanted a guy that can do what they want to do without feeling like they're losing anything in the rotation. So they get Blake Corum, who they believe was just an extension of Kyron Williams, to run the same style. You could make the argument then they want to do the same on defense. Like if Byron Young's off, they could have Femi Oladejo do the exact same thing because he's, he has a little bit difference, but in terms of size and rawness, very similar. So I agree with you, but there's that side of the argument if the Rams have been thinking that way since last season of just having that, like, this is the style we want to play. Let's find guys that can basically do the same things across the board.
Yeah, and our top option there at cornerback is not really showing anything special from what I've just looked at. Good height, not a big guy, good in zone, not great in man. No particular measurables that are jumping off the charts. I like 6'1". But I'm not struggling here with this pick. Usually I'm pretty decisive.
Shades of Darius Williams. Look at that.
Oh, he's only 5 inches taller than him, though.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let you take the lead on this one.
I mean, unless you're completely against it, I'm kind of feeling Oladejo.
No, I mean, last episode we were talking about strength on strength. If you can get more pass rushers, if you can get more speed at that position, I don't mind.
Especially because, like, after Young and Verse, who do they got? You lose Hoyt.
Great point.
You lose Hoyt in the offseason. They ran a lot of 3-player sets. I mean, Hoyt played a lot last year, wasn't it? It was just like Young and Verse 100%. So
yeah, no, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. So let's try it out.
You good with it?
Oladejo.
Let's do it, Femi. Great value there too. All right, so now we're 4th round, pick 25.
Oh, well, okay. I got to make a case for this guy. I'm not entirely sure how to pronounce his name. Isaac Tesla or Tesla. I'm not sure. Not great production, but he's an athlete. This guy is off the charts in terms of his measurables. Let me just pull that up real quick. And they have met with him as well.
6'4", 217, and they met with him. Yeah, good call.
Yep. You're looking at explosive testing here, 88th percentile broad jump, 89th vertical jump. Let's see here, 40-yard dash, 74%, 10-yard split. He's in the 80s as well. So, he's kind of an untested, unrefined route tree's not there. But is that a position you want to invest in? We've got Kyle Williams up there at the top of the board as well. And, in terms of their grading here, PFF's grading, they're not giving much love to any of these cornerbacks. Did the cornerbacks fly off the board or something after that last pick?
Yeah, a bunch did actually. Melo's still available.
Yeah. What are your thoughts? Where do you think we should go?
So I like everything you said, and I'd be fine with the receiver here in this kind of 4th, 5th range. Obviously, I said I don't want to see it in the first round, but I think you can get good value here. So I like Tesla or Kyle Williams out of Washington State, even Ty Felton out of Maryland. Saw him do some damage against USC. I like Torrey Horton actually. If we can even wait and get a Torrey Horton later, I think that's a really valuable pick out of Colorado State, who just had some injury issues. But again, that's a Ram style pick, a guy with a high upside that had some injury issues in college, aka Puka Nacua. You can kind of turn into a guy. So maybe I'd feel good if we think he could be there by 190. He might be gone by then. But I don't know. At this point, we haven't taken a corner yet. It feels like we kind of need to.
Yeah, it definitely feels that way. My last pitch for big ol' 6'4", 214 Tesla. I don't know if they're out on this body type, this kind of guy, but a couple years ago they picked that tight end. And they tried real hard to make him kind of a hybrid wide receiver tight end guy. Can he be that? Can he kind of like come in and see if they can fill that role once again? That's my last pitch. If you don't like it, we'll go best player cornerback available.
So My only counter to that be, and I'm fine with the pick still. I'd be fine with it. My only counter would be since we took Colson Loveland in the first round, I think he can be that guy. Like I know he's a tight end, but
Yeah.
he can play out wide. Like he can be a wide
Sure.
receiver body type, but he can be in line as a tight end. So I think they filled that need of what they've wanted, what Sean McVay's wanted. So do you want a guy that can do something similar in that regard? Which is kind of the theme of our draft, right? Like finding guys that can do what others do, so there's no void when they're off the field. So I'm good either way.
And
I chose the last one. I'm going to let you go with this one.
you just did something real nasty to me here by throwing up Jack Kaiser.
Yeah.
Jack Kaiser, linebacker out of Notre Dame. All sorts of production for that guy.
Yeah, I do
Not
like.
Quinta,
I mean, we do need a linebacker, right?
Yeah. Oh man. I can't do this. I am now all right. We're gonna go best cornerback available here. We're gonna go Mello Dotson. Sorry, Jack.
All right, Mellow it is. We'll see who survives to 190. Let's see who all went. Oh, our guy Tyler Shuck goes pick before, but we already took a quarterback, so we're good. Jonah Monheim, SC, goes there.
Wow.
Let's see if any of the names we were looking at, how much higher they went. I mean, we went through a lot of picks before our next one, so let's see. Probably good we took a corner. Kyle Williams went there. If Kyle Williams went there, then your guy Tesla might actually still be available.
It could be.
Unless
There's an intriguing defensive lineman up on that board right now.
Ooh, Jack Kaiser went like right after we picked. And Torrey Horton. Torrey Horton right after. Okay. Who's the intriguing?
Ty Johnson, Nebraska. Testing off the charts. 40-yard dash, 71 percentile. Vertical jump, 74. Broad jumps, 80, 84. A little bit undersized in terms of his weight. But he's sitting there at 6'5", 288. I know it's not what they need on the defensive line.
But I mean, to your point, they need more depth there. I mean, again, I know they added Puna Ford, which I think was a home run addition. You got Braden Fix, Kobe Turner, and Puna Ford. And like after that, it's, I know they have Dewan Johnson, who they drafted just last year. They got I'm drawing a blank on his name, but they took another guy last year in the late rounds. So they have like guys there, but there's not the production yet just because they haven't been on the field. So at this point, we're in round 6. At this point, you're just kind of taking let's look at linebackers real quick.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, do you think the Rams have to take a linebacker in this draft? That was obviously the biggest position of need, I think. But after they signed Landman and then brought back fan favorite Troy Reeder, do you think they're just going to roll with who they got?
I mean, they got to take somebody. It's just a matter of when and where. And Jay Higgins is definitely an intriguing name, but I think that definitely can wait a little bit.
Kane Madrano, another lower production, had some injuries in college at UCLA, finally kind of played a full season last year, but phenomenal athlete. I mean, he was the fastest 40 time among his position at the combine. So, and that's a guy we can get later or even undrafted free agent. So,
let's double down on cornerback.
Double down. Let's look at corners. Let's look at receivers and running backs. Ooh. Jalen Smith still available here.
He's going to be around for a little while.
Based on this, yeah, I feel like he'll be drafted higher in the actual real draft. But based on ours, we can probably wait. Do you want to look at anything else? Offensive line depth? Do you want to go I mean, we can go that defensive interior. I don't hate that.
Yeah, let's take a look at offensive line then. If anything is not intriguing there.
Tackle. Could definitely use some tackle depth. I mean, not a ton of great options.
I've kind of already sold myself on Ty Robinson out of Nebraska.
Let's do it.
All right.
Yeah, let's do it. Why not? These are all 6th round picks, and we got a lot of them.
All right, here's a strength of his from Dane Brugler. He says he's built like an oak tree, big, thick, and strong. And he says demolished poor souls as a short yardage lead blocker on offense. What? What does that mean? He's a lead blocker on offense.
Like,
come on,
played like a fullback, basically.
I guess.
Big dude. There you go. Okay. Do we want a receiver at this point? Running back? I mean, I know I'm biased to USC guys, but I love me some Woody Marks.
Yeah, can I see the big board, just kind of like who's ranked up top right now?
Yep.
Wow, all the safeties are getting all grouped up.
Yeah.
Linebacker. Let's take a look at linebacker. We're in round 6.
And we are.
I do like Jay Higgins.
I do too. So, I mean, we have 195, 201, 202. Is this where we need to take him now, or can he be our Mr. Irrelevant? I mean, if we like him, we'll take him now. Basically, it's a separation of 7 picks. So
I'm leaning on you at this point.
let's just do it. Jay Higgins there.
All right.
At this point, we're just drafting positions, right? So
Back to back. Now we got back-to-back picks here.
Yeah, back to back to close it. So do we want receive? If Woody's there, I'm taking Woody. I'm just telling you right now.
Love it.
Because I really do believe they're going to take a running back. They have every year. I'm doing Woody. All right. You get the last pick. What do you want? Receiver? Tackle?
Now let's go this Clemson safety. I mean, we've got the defensive backfield is coming off contracts. It's gonna be weird, so they're gonna have to add there. And I don't feel like we did enough. So let's do RJ Mickens.
RJ Mickens out of Clemson. All right, here we go. Let's see how PFF grades us. I'd rather hear how the people grade us, but A-. Didn't like my Woody Marks pick, but I think that's a steal in the late 6th round.
Yeah.
A+ in the 7th.
Oh, Femi got an A. Fantastic.
There you go. Mello, A-. Ty Robinson, there you go, A.
Not bad.
Yeah. There we go. So, to quickly recap, Colson Loveland in the 1st. We get our quarterback of the future, potentially, Jalen Milroe in the 3rd. Femi Oladejo in the 3rd as well. Get our corner that we do need in the 4th round, Mello Dotson, great career at Kansas. Skinny gets his guy out of Nebraska, local kid, Ty Robinson, an oak tree, as he said. We get our rotational linebacker to potentially replace Troy Reader and Jay Higgins out of Iowa. I get my guy, Woody Marks, running back out of USC. Very versatile, can catch the ball out of the backfield. It's like an NCAA record for like 50 plus consecutive games with a catch. So certainly can be active out of the backfield. And we close it out with one of the better safeties in the draft, RJ Mickens, falling all the way to the 7th round. There you have it.
Love it.
Anything you want to add?
No, I don't think there is.
Yeah. So there it is. This is our first mock draft, and we're only a week away. So maybe we'll do one more next week. We'll see, or we'll just do kind of a news recap. But let us know, everyone. Hopefully, a lot of viewers. I know we were off a little bit. I was camping in Yosemite, so just got back and had to get back on the mic. So thank you all for hanging out and tuning in. Let us know what you think. Let us know if you don't want the Rams take a quarterback, don't want to take a running back, tight end in the 1st round. I mean, just give us your thoughts. Draft season.
My big takeaway from this is they need more picks. They got to bulk up on offensive line. They got to bulk up on defensive line. You got to go cornerback and safety. You got to get a lot of those guys, and you can get. We saw them go deep with that with the undrafted free agent class as well. But there's a lot of backup needs on this team, and once you get down to that 6th round, you look at that draft order, it's bottom heavy, which they've been okay with, but man, they need more picks. Maybe next one we do trades. We
Yeah,
just
we
see if
will.
we can, how much we can accumulate in the third to fourth rounds, second, third, fourth round, day 2.
Yeah, I think we'll definitely do trades, and I think depending how the board falls, it definitely feels more likely than not the Rams trade back, because I think Les Snead agrees with you. He's said pretty blatantly they want more picks. So
maybe we'll do one big trade up and see, and then another, see if we can trade back and how many picks we can accumulate.
hey, your big wild trade up idea, if Travis Hunter falls to 7, that's a lot more attainable than 2.
Yeah, man, if he keeps dropping, if he drops out of the top 5, they better be on the fucking horn. Oops.
Yeah. Did you see that that latest report that which he won't, but he says he'll quit football if a team doesn't play him on both sides of the ball?
Come on, man. I don't buy that for a second.
Yeah, wait till that check hits. I don't think you'll be quitting.
Yeah,
You're
what are
not
you
getting
gonna
NIL
do?
money anymore. So
Yeah,
um
Dick's Sporting Goods isn't going to pay you any money either if you're not playing football.
yeah. So anyway, let us know what you guys think. We are almost to the draft. I'm sure some people are just ready for it to get here and be over. But it's a great week ahead. So make sure to like and subscribe to the Rams LAFB YouTube channel if you have not already. That certainly helps us out a ton. Rams LAFB, easy to find. LAFBnetwork.com is the website, or on audio, Apple, Spotify. You can just search Rams Skinny. For Skinny T, I am Ryan Dyrud. Thank you as always, Ramley. Talk to you here in a couple days.